Good afternoon, this is Christy with Van Ahn Company. It is Tuesday, November 17th. I'm just going to go over the markets with you. It just seems like we kind of just keep ticking along, and each day is extremely quiet in these grain markets. Not a whole lot of movement. You did get a little bit of movement in the wheat market to the downside, coming and chasing those recent lows that we've seen about a month and a half ago. So you're down to that 485 on that Dees Chicago contract, down 9 on the day. Otherwise, you were just extremely quiet, up and down a penny in corn and beans. There's not a lot of news out there. You're going to have a crop report here in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So there's not a whole lot of information to finish this year off. Usually you have some sort of buying or selling coming into the holidays, so you could see a little bit of movement there. But overall, you know, this market is just stuck. It doesn't have the news to move it in either one of those directions. And until you have the dollar make some sort of move to the downside, you're going to have some problems finding a little bit of support. That dollar is close to 100. You know, that puts a lot of pressure on commodities, especially wheat, especially corn, just because they are so globally driven, and you have, you know, a lot of different countries that are able to provide that. And so because of that, their option is cheaper to a lot of companies exporting. And so moving on to the meat markets, you had strength there. Live cattle, feeder cattle, lean hogs, all up about $1 to $2 higher on the day. You're waiting to see what kind of cash trade bids you might come out and see, and that might dictate a little bit of how trade's going to go. You are trying to bounce off those recent lows that we've seen, especially in live cattle, but it seems like, you know, it doesn't want to move too much until it has a better idea of what cash is going to do. Outside markets, you did have crude fade again. Once again, we're getting close to those all-time lows of $39. You're just on the lower end of 40s. Dollar was slightly higher. That puts pressure towards things. And then the stock markets was slightly higher too. So that's really all there is for today. You're trying to search for some answers and see a little bit of information. Until then, you're going to have extremely narrow range trade. I do have to close with a disclaimer. Trading in futures and options involves risk of loss and may not be suitable for all producers. Have a great day.